Looks like it's coming through now. So yeah, apologies to those of you that I hacked off by losing my temper with my computer and then subsequently with my mobile phone. But I don't know why Discord was being janky. It just didn't want me playing ball today anyway. So I know Andy's not here today, so it's me on my own. I've got J God's on stage with me, but he's just one of the admins and mods. He's not normally front and centre, are you?
No, I like it that way.
Fair enough. So yeah, I'll not ask you to help out too much. Let's get Jane on stage as well. And anybody else who's got any questions, please put your hand up and I'll bring you on stage, because as it's just me today, it'll be just what I've got to tell you, and then we're going to we'll make this quite a short one today, because I know I say that every time we do an AMA and we end up going on for about an hour, but I can promise you this one isn't going to be as long as normal. Couple of bits of news. Well, one major piece of news, and it's not set in stone yet, because and I'm going to be very careful how much I say, because I'm not going to promise anything that's not going to come off. But there is a meeting going on today with Oculus and Facebook. I'll let you draw your own conclusions as to who is undertaking that meeting. None of what gets said in here is to be spread onto the Multiverse Facebook group, please, because, well, it's just not the done thing that anything gets shared before it becomes news. But we as a project are trying to organise a comedy festival and make it the number one biggest first ever comedy festival in the metaverse. And to pull that off, we are looking at over 100 events over a 2-week period, which has then attracted the attention of the powers that be, who may well now wish to get involved and talk to us about how we take that forward, and what names we're using, which comedians, and make a massive big deal of it. We will know more over the coming days. There's no guarantee at this point whatsoever, but something very, very special will happen in the Infiniverse, and it is an if this gets signed off, and it is an if at this point. But if it comes off, it'll be the biggest piece of news that this project has ever had. So way beyond what we did with Megastar City, and it will be an enormous piece of news, and it will probably coincide very nicely with the direction the market is going in. I've been talking to some people over the last couple of days, and I was on a Zoom call with Nick Peterson, who runs the Wolf Den, yesterday, and Dan Nicholson, who is a fund manager and advisor to some of the biggest banks in the world. They were talking about not about our project, about the Night project, but they were talking about currently, if you look at, for example, gold as a market cap. Now, gold has a market cap of about $10 trillion. Crypto currently has a market cap of sub $1 trillion, and is probably set to decrease a little bit more over the next 30 to 60 days. Anybody's guess as to what happens after that, when the bull run comes, and it might not even be until next year. We might be sat here in 3 or 4 months' time debating where we're at. But this is a massive, massive opportunity for everybody who understands crypto to accumulate and follow the projects that are the good projects, obviously, of which we count ourselves as one. They are talking about regulation coming in, the banks getting involved, massive amounts of investment, and Nick has been talking to someone who is, and this is genuine, looking to place $2 to $3 billion into crypto in early 2023, because that's when they believe the real big play comes with regulation and proper adoption and worldwide adoption, and lots of investors and investing institutions wanting to get involved. So from that conversation, take from it what you will. None of this, as always, is investment advice, but it does appear that the future for crypto itself is exceedingly bright in 2023, and it is a washout right now for all of the shit coins. Like, all the projects that promise and do nothing are going to go, right? So if you're invested in some of these ones that are no coins or shit coins or do nothing coins, my personal opinion, I'll not say advice, but my personal opinion is I would be getting out of those right now, right? Because a lot of those projects won't be around by Christmas for certain, if not over the next couple of months. I think somebody told me that there'd been over 2,000 capitulations over the last month, and by that I mean, if you say that there are 20 to 25,000 tokens worldwide at the moment, 2,000 or more of them have actually gone bust into the dust and disappeared over the last 30 days. And that's a sign that money's moving from those type of coins and projects into the projects that actually promise something, like we say we do, and we do. And this piece of news that we're hopefully going to be bringing you, I'll probably say, look, it'll be Monday or Thursday next week, by which time we will have had chances to get the feedback on the proposal that's been put to Oculus. Look, if that comes off, that's the biggest thing that's happened for this project. So I'm not going to give all of the details, but it will bring all of the big comedians, like all the people that we've lined up, everyone that we're talking to, the really big names, the ones that are the household names, and the TV performers, Netflix people, HBO specials, all of these guys, and girls, let's not be sexist, but look, all the talent that we will ever want will come to us if that event is signed off, and I don't see any reason why not. That's what we're working towards. Conversations lead towards that happening in early September, which lines up with we think the market coming back well, and also the fact that through summer, from now until September, VR does normally take a downturn because it's hot, people are on holiday, they're outside more, people are not minded to pick their headsets up quite as much. But September onwards is when the nights start drawing in, the colder months come, and people start sort of playing around a bit more. Plus, crypto should be moving a lot more quickly September onwards as well. So I really can't say what's happening, because I would absolutely love to, but this is so much bigger than Mega Star City. And it is in collaboration with the guys at the Infiniverse and Multiverse and Oculus and Meta. As I say, until it's signed off, I'm not going to give you the details, and many of the details will be left for those guys to announce, because they will want to get on board with the marketing. But there is a possibility that people like Meta and Oculus get involved with the project in advertising us, and I think everybody on here can think how big and imagine how big that would be for the project. It would be incredible. It would be off the charts good. So let's all keep our fingers crossed. That meeting could well be taking place at this very minute. So we are hopeful. It's probably, I think it's more than a 50-50 chance. I know some of the things we've talked about in the past have been very small percentage chances of pulling them off, but this is probably a 50-50 chance that we become globally known. So that's one bit of news. The other bit of news is, as it stands, we don't think currently it is worth spending money to attend the event in New York. I know there are people in the project that want us to do that, and we will have a presence there, but I don't think it's currently economic for us to pay for a booth, which would cost us upwards of $5,000 plus probably another $5,000 to $10,000 in travel when the market is in the state it's in currently. So we're going to look for events that are probably more towards the end of July and early August for that first big push on going to events, having booths, talking to thousands of people, because it just seems like there's a lot of people sat on the sidelines at the moment and minded not to invest in projects. I'm watching quite a lot of the launches going off at the moment and they're not hitting their hard caps, so just seems like it's a bit of a lull in the market. There's an argument to say that Bitcoin has got a bit further to go. My personal opinion, I'm sat thinking it's going to go probably to 16 to 18k. There seems to be quite a lot of support there. If it goes any further than that, then you'll probably see a $10,000 Bitcoin. And if that happens, if you've got spare funds on the sidelines, that will be where a lot of the people jump into the market. But if you follow the trends and you watch the way the Bitcoin halving events have gone in the past, and now obviously the next one's 2024, we should, touch wood, be seeing a bull run towards Christmas, and a very big one at that. So it's now this point at which the projects that are good and delivering, those are the projects you should be investing in. And obviously we count Joke within that. I know it's a little bit quiet on the market front because BNB has gone down really low at the moment, but again, some people are taking the opportunity to dollar cost average in and accumulate some Joke. I think I can see Andy in the audience. I'm going to see if he is able to speak. Maybe not. Anybody got any questions while I'm on here? Yeah, Salty Dave says 10k Bitcoin would be a dream come true. Yeah, I think it probably would be, but who knows what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 months. I think it's going to be a wild ride, let's put it that way. Andy, are you able to talk? I'm going to take that as a no. Jane, is there anything admin wise we need to cover off with people, tickets or anything like that? Oh, that's good. I can't hear Jane now. I'm going to presume everybody can still hear me. What I'm going to do is...
No, I can't hear Jane either.
No, I can't hear Jane or Andy. But his avatar's not flashing, so it doesn't appear that either of them are speaking. It's either that or you and I are just having a chat to each other. So...
Yeah. Andy messaged earlier that his mic's broken on his phone. He's struggling connecting with his phone or something.
Yeah. There's been a few villages popping up in the Infiniverse this week if people have been watching, so they look quite interesting. I know people are gagging for utility within the Infiniverse. Some people have said they don't want to see more drops until there's some utility. Part of what we're working on is utility within the Infiniverse. Obviously the payment gateway is key, and part of the revenue model that we're looking at going forward, and without giving away any more, and too many hints, we are looking at a season ticket model. This is not obviously related to people who hold the Jungle Cats, because the Jungle Cats get in for free, but a season ticket model for people seems to make sense, because looking at the numbers, if we get about 20,000 people into an event at the moment, my absolute worry is we put an event on and currently we get 20,000 people in free. Let's say it's a really big name. Nobody has tested a payment gateway in the Infiniverse yet. And if we put a great big, we put a massive event on, we spend a load of money on getting a particular comedian, the chances are we may get very, very few people to pay, or there are issues paying, or who knows what. The dev is beyond complex. So what we're currently looking at is a season ticket model, and that's going to, a bit like, you pay your monthly fee to Netflix. That's a bit like a season ticket. You're paying a monthly fee rather than paying by individual events, because otherwise we're going to find we can't pay comedy clubs. Like, for example, we're having a conversation with the Gotham. They put comedy on 3 or 4 times a week at a very high level. Like, they have people walking in, such as Kevin Hart, coming in as, like, will turn up and do a set. Streaming their content into a joke club is a possibility and is looking more and more likely. But if we're saying to them, right, what are you going to get paid? Currently, we can't answer the question, which makes it very difficult to conclude a negotiation. If you're saying to someone, I don't know what I'm going to pay you, it's very difficult. So season ticket model seems a lot fairer, and it seems like driving value up with multiple clubs so that people can attend as many events as they want. And obviously we welcome feedback. We'd love to hear what you guys think in terms of what you would be prepared to pay. James messaged me in the AMA chat saying, I need to get 15 codes from you, OG Joke. I don't know why, because I think we've only got 1 or 2 competition winners outstanding at the moment. Look out, just message me privately on that if you can, please, Jane. We've got the treasure hunt that we're organising and we're going to announce Monday, so look out for that one. Hopefully all of you guys saw Dom Jolly joining the project and gave his video some love and commented some people in, some friends, and tagged them into that. We did have a massive amount of people retweeting that. And the last piece of news that I'm going to give out today before I go is I am on Ape Spaces tonight, so that's another good bit of publicity for the project. They get roughly 300, 400, 500 people at a time live on their spaces. We were on there last week, but Domingo did it, and he pitched the project for about 4 minutes, and then one of the mums of one of the hosts of Ape Spaces won a big competition and won $1,000, and they cut Domingo off, and then they never came back to him, and he had held on that for about 4 hours. Now that was a misunderstanding, because what we didn't quite know was these Ape Spaces go on for about 6 or 7 hours at a time, and your scheduled spot could be 5 hours into the Ape Space. Now we've scheduled to come in almost at the start of it tonight, because they've promised us a better, they were ever so apologetic. They gave us, they've given us a better spot. They've promised us a bit more time. I'm going to do it, just for the fact that I don't want Domingo to get peed off again and have to, well, I'm sure nothing will go wrong tonight, but look, I'm going to do it. I'll field the questions, I'll talk to them, and hopefully get people excited about joining the Joke Project, coming over to our Discord. So watch out. If we do get quite a lot of new members tonight, we will attempt to do that and bring some more people in, because a lot of those guys in that project, as we know, are massive whales. So it won't take many of them to shift the needle, and there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of whales looking for the right projects at the moment. Domingo was on a call with a group of investors and lots of them being whales, and the overarching sentiment was that they are looking for the good projects now. Like if you go back a year or just over a year, because I think it was May last year there was a big dip as well. Before that, people were just aping into every sort of project there was, to try and get the next Floki or Shiba, and get the 100 or 1000x gain. It is becoming very, very clear that a lot, and I mean a lot, of the big investors and the clever investors, and even the sort of medium-sized guys that are sat on the side, they're looking for the good projects now, because they know they're going to be the only ones that come out the other side of this washout. So you're going to see a lot of projects get crippled. You're going to see a lot of the shit coins disappear. You're going to see regulation coming into the space. Maybe the XRP Ripple case and the SEC case actually get settled. Who knows? But we know there's a lot of government stalking the space, a lot of massive investors. Talking to Dan Nicholson and Nick Peterson yesterday, the people that they're dealing with are people like Fennec West, who launched Apple's IPO and were involved with Google, and all of these guys. Like, that's the sort of level of people that are on the very periphery of projects like ours. And when we start bringing in people like Oculus and Meta and working directly with them for content, that gets super exciting. That gets to that's why we're here, to change the world, to make a real difference for comedians, and to push the needle in VR. And that's what the intention is. That's what's coming to us now. That's why people are looking at us and talking to us at the right level. You just don't get to talk to director level people at Meta. You just don't, right? And when we're able to provide the content, and at the end of the day for these guys, the content is what drives the sales. So if they're looking for their run up for Christmas, and guys, if you've got a VR headset, you can get this, i.e. a massive comedy festival with some of the biggest names in the world, it's a no-brainer for them to get involved. So, touch wood, keep your fingers crossed, cross everything, hope this all comes together, because if we pull this one off, this is game changer, big style. So we will give you more news next week and more detail, hopefully. There's lots in that proposal that I can't even hint to, because if I do, I'll get shot. And I already did get into San Shepard's bad books at one point by releasing a video that I shouldn't have done. So we won't be crossing that bridge ever again. I will only be hinting to some of the conversations that are going on in the background and are getting very, very exciting, and stuff, look, obviously stuff that we've worked on for a very long time, and the stuff that, well, I think as a project we deserve, because we have got all of those connections now. We can easily organise a comedy festival with over 100+ acts in it. And if you look at things like, for example, the Edinburgh Festival, which is probably the premier, or one of the premier comedy festivals worldwide, that has 900 and something acts in it. If we can start with 100 and work our way towards that, that's a really good jumping off place for running more festivals across more metaverses. Look, Meta Landlords is coming. That's going to give us space in other metaverses, and that will be an incredible project. I don't think we could have timed the launch any better. If we launch that in 3 or 4 weeks' time, maybe a touch longer. The website's being finished. Well, I was speaking to the guys that are finishing the website. It is being finished as we speak. I recorded that meeting, Andy, if you're listening, so I'll be able to send you the recording of that. That should be up next week, and when we launch that, the like I say, the timing is incredible, because the market is down. really people are really looking to get into exciting new projects at the right time, ready to run up next year. And when people are, openly saying in Zoom meetings that they're talking to people that are ready to invest $2 to $3 billion into crypto, the space is really going to get serious very quickly in early 2023. I've probably said enough today, because I'll either that or I'll start repeating myself infinitum. Has anybody got a question they want to ask? Put your hand up now if you have. Apologies to Deviate for, I know you said you got up early to listen to this, and that was actually what spurred me on to make sure I could get this done for you, because I don't want anybody to be disappointed or upset with anything we do. You may have heard a few choice words, and apologies for the swearing if anybody did hear that, because I was getting very frustrated trying to get on here. I'm just looking, nobody's got their hand up. I'm just going to check the AMA live chat one more time. I can see some typing going on. Yes, thank you, Simon, says Deviate. What might be nice is when there is downtime to go to a joke club and select an act to watch, perhaps a small guys where you can watch their acts live. Yeah, we can do that. We are going to be doing that. We are finalising a deal with 2 comedian groups at the moment. I have mentioned it before, so I'll not go on at length, but the legal documents are getting out of hand. We are drafting more and more terms into them, but on the upside of that, what it is doing is giving us a template to work from going forwards with other clubs, comedians and creators. So we'll pretty much have a standard contract at that point that we can give out to people. I can see Missy369 typing in, so I'm going to wait until that comes through just in case there's any more questions. Anybody else want to put their hand up or say anything? I can still see she's typing. I presume it's a she, being called Missy. Maybe I'm now breaking pronouns or anything, but do pronouns exist in crypto and are on Discord? Who knows? We haven't quite got to site quite to that much. Yeah, Missy says thank you so much for the update, Simon. Yeah, I wish I could give you a little bit more of a hint on that. I have been talking to the guys at KuCoin again. I am trying to establish a communication with the right person. I'm talking to all sorts of people. There are clearly, as far as I'm concerned, a couple of scammers in there. There are a couple of genuine people, but I need to make sure that I'm speaking to the right person. So that's what's delaying things at KuCoin at the moment, because since I actually got to the point of submitting the application, I have then been inundated with, you wouldn't believe how many different people from KuCoin, and also some KuCoin people from LinkedIn, and I've had Binance contact me as well, supposedly a guy who can get us listed on Binance, and I took that one with a pinch of salt to begin with, so we'll see what happens with that, but I would imagine there's a 99% chance that that's fraudulent, so we will not be putting the project in danger, trust me on that one. We will be making sure that everybody is fully doxed to us before we send any percentage of this project over to one of the big exchanges. But at least we are starting to come up on people's radars, and we are starting to put conversations together, because a lot of the exchanges, a lot of the devs, a lot of the whales, everybody is looking for the good projects at the moment. They are looking for people like us, and they're looking for people that are actually making things happen. So as soon as we move to getting an agreement with Oculus, Meta, Infiniverse, etc., and as I say, please do not publish anything of this conversation in the multiverse chat, just for the fact that there are no facts in this conversation yet. It's all speculation, and we are hoping to pull off a massive deal. So keep your fingers crossed. I've got mine crossed. I'm hoping for some good news tomorrow. As soon as I've got it, I will let you guys know. So I won't be, I'm not going to hold it back for Monday if we hear something tomorrow. But equally, I'm not going to let out little pieces. I'd much rather say to you guys, look, deal's done. This is what's happening. Let's get ready. And that would think of how many people that'll bring into the project like you wouldn't believe. So we've got our fingers crossed. I hope you guys all have too. And we will speak to you the other side of the weekend. But as always, if anybody's got any questions, pop them in the chat or DM me. Remember, I will never DM you first. Neither will any of our other mods or admins. So be safe. Sit on the sidelines and watch is my advice at the moment in the crypto market, or accumulate by dollar cost averaging into the projects that you really like the look of, because as soon as this market turns around, it's going to be a big run. So see you all on the other side of the weekend, and thanks for listening.